It's time for the CN8 Candlepin Challenge, a production of the International Candlepin Bowling Association and CN8 Sports. Hi again, everybody, and welcome inside the Woburn Bowlerdrome. John Holt with Dan Murphy and Trina Fernandez as John Zappi looks to make it 3 weeks in a row as our champ.
That's right, and he did it last week, and he picked up a little bit of bonus money on the way. He was able to throw 3 marks in a row a couple times, so we picked up an extra $100. It's a new feature this year. We give $50 for 3 consecutive marks, $50 for every mark in concession after that in the same game. So they pick up a few extra change, but the biggest thing is our audience participation. Show up for one of our tapings. If your name is drawn out, we'll let you throw 1 box. If you get 10 or less, we'll give you $1 a pin, $50 for a spare, and right now the jackpot is at $150 if you throw a strike. So that's really been the buzz so far this year.
Absolutely. We'll figure it out today between games 1 and 2 of the championship match. We'll speak with the reigning champ, John Zappi, in just a minute, but first to Trina Fernandez. Trina?
Hello, John. Today our challengers are Dan Gauthier and Dave Dupree, and these are both seasoned veterans that know the show really well. Dan, how you feeling today?
A little tired from doing this a few times, but looking forward to bowling.
All right, you ready to get out there?
Absolutely anxious.
Okay, well, anxious. He's anxious. How you feeling?
Calm right now, but when the lights come on, it might be a little different story.
Well, you're both such experienced bowlers. You've been on the show, I think, what, 13 times?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, so a lot of experience going into this one string. Anything can happen. Back over to you guys.
Trina, thanks. Talking a little beforehand here with John, who's had some tough competition, but you have been so consistent, it hasn't really mattered. You've won beating these tough competitors.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it didn't matter or not, but I mean, I was throwing the ball pretty good, and things were working out for me. So I was happy about that.
Look for more of the same today.
I hope so.
Good luck.
Thanks.
We're back with the Challengers match right after this on CN8. Back in Woburn and ready for the Challengers match. 1-game match, nice handshake, sportsmanship between the two challengers. And we're set to go. Dan Gauthier taking on Dave Dupree. Dan from the heart of the Commonwealth, Worcester, Massachusetts, to go first. Lanes 35 and 36 in use, and Dan starts by dropping 8. Leave the 3-7. John Zappi, our reigning champ, 2-time champ, winning the wings to take on the winner from the Challengers match. And Dan will start with a 10 box. New bowling shirts this season as well, as you can see. Little upgrade in the style. 6-pin drop.
1, 3, 6, and then, of course, the kingpin, the 5 in the back.
The kingpin does not go. So open will be Dan Gauthier in the first 2 boxes. Two 10 boxes gets all the pins for a score of 20.
Our first look at our season number 1 champion. He won the final show way back in season number 1.
From Leicester, Massachusetts, right out near Worcester.
Almost starts with a strike, everything but the 8-pin.
It's a spare. First mark we've seen. Just 1 game, of course, to determine the winner of the Challengers match, so not a lot of room for error, and the bowler that jumps out first is in great shape. This is just the 1 string. Fill of 7 for Dave Dupree.
So 1, 9, and 10. Piece of wood behind the 1, which could deflect it toward the 9 and 10 pins.
9, left to 10.
3 marks in a row within one game will get you a $50 bonus, then 50 more for each mark consecutively after that within the same game. New little wrinkle this season, bonus money. 27-20, Dupree with the early 7-pin advantage. Dan has the average of 120. Third box and a strike.
Oh, big strike.
Just what he was hoping for. No doubt about it. 2 box 4. Takes out 7. Second ball will count towards that fill as well.
Gonna get it. He's gonna
Yes, 2 in a row. Spare on strike, and he is another mark away from the $50 bonus. That's 7 going down. Back to Dave.
I think he wanted that head pin to stay up. Let's see where the wood settles in. Yeah, it would have been easier shot with the head pin up. 7 and 9 pins. Pieces of wood. You got to cap the one to the far left. Well, I think he has a choice.
$37 consecutive 10 boxes, 2 and 3 for Dave.
Dave does a lot of his bowling at the Mohegan Lanes in Webster, Massachusetts. And, of course, the roll-off was held at the Rollaway Lanes in Ware, Massachusetts, which happens to be the home lanes of Dan Gauthier.
Seven falling. It's got the 1, 2, and the 7.
Oh, we got the 1 and the 7, left the 2 pin.
So opposite the 2 marks from Dan Gauthier, Dave is open in 3 and 4. This next ball is going to be a big one for Gauthier. Already up 3 pins plus this roll. Add 6 more to his lead.
This for $50 if he can convert it.
Punches out just 1.
Oh, great 10 box though. 66 through 5. Hasn't left the pin standing yet. Neither bowler has.
John Zappi, who has won 2 weeks in a row, will take on the winner of the Challengers round. He's warming up to our left as we speak.
Still throwing with the wrong hand too, isn't he? Well, Dan's looking at the 3-6-4-7, and that piece of wood, he can deflect the ball off that and got a shot at the 4-7. Oh, nicely done.
His 3rd mark, strike and 2 spares for Dan Gauthier.
Take a look. Exactly what happened.
Dave trying to answer. He had that mark in the 1st, and 3 in a row open as he operates now in the 5th.
He's got the 2, 4, and 6 left. Going to try to split the 2 and the 4, or slap the 2 off the the wall. Have it come across. Oh, that close to cutting it across.
Still not a pin left standing. Box 6 for Dave Dupree. Needs a couple marks, and how about that? Good timing. Get right back in it.
Take a look at the replay. Blowing out all the candles for a strike. Five on the fill. Some 81 and a 14-pin advantage, at least temporarily.
Misses. That's the first pin either bowler has left up. 9 box for Dan. In the 8th now. Oh, 10 of them.
His own on the 8th. Picked on the Brooklyn side, and looks like the 8-pin kicked forward for the 5. His 4th mark of the match. 2 strikes and 2 spares.
Dave following up his strike back in the 6th by dropping 6. Another ball counting towards that fill right here.
1, 3, 6, 10. 4 horsemen to the right. Piece of wood in between the 6 and 10 should help him. Spare on strike.
2 marks in a row. Going for number 3 in that $50 bonus.
Wow. 1 in the 9. We saw that happen last week to our champ, John Zappi. On a double strike, he had this leave.
So no 3 in a row on the marks.
Just 25. So it's a 6-pin advantage for Dan Gauthier, but he's working on a strike.
These next 2 boost his lead. Half Worcester left.
Wants to push the lead into double figures, forcing Dave Dupree to throw 2 marks the last 2 frames. But he's got a little work to do with his second ball. Oh, he did. That's a huge mark there in the 9th.
Work well done.
Sets himself up, possible bonus money again. Half wish to the first ball, and he clears them all. Look at that pin. It was going to go down. 120 in the 9th plus this ball.
That's 6 more.
3, 5, 6, 10. Wood could carry them all. Oh, cost him the bonus money.
$135 is what he puts up. Dupree is going to need a bunch of marks.
He's going to need double strike. Must mark, spare a strike in this frame, but he's going to need a double strike, either this frame or the next.
4-7, 3 and the 6.
That'll do it. He'll finish out the 10th, but even with a triple strike, he'll be a little short. Dan Gauthier will be the next opponent for John Zappi.
You can see sort of a sigh of relief from Dan. John Zappi has been so consistently strong, it'll take something pretty special to beat him. Dupree earns an extra ball. John patiently waiting for his two-game championship match to follow here on CN8. That gets him 5 more. So it's 135 to 117, an 18-pin victory for Dan Gauthier. No you, me, and Dupree, though, in the final. It's Gauthier and Zappi next on CN8. Back and ready for the championship match. John Zappi, the reigning champ, on the right. Dan Gauthier, who just won that challengers match, on the left. And the champ is going to go first. First of 2 games to crown this week's champ. Zappi from Quincy. Been real tough during his run, as you might expect, but very consistent. Leaves the 6 and the 9. So he will be open in the first. Beat Tim Goodwin in a real competitive finals match a week ago, championship match. Tim Goodwin was making his debut in the show, but he was terrific.
He certainly was.
And then before that, Gary Carrington, who was the champ at the time, dethroned by John Zappi. So John with that 9 in the first. Box 2. Nine with the 1 ball. So has a chance for his first mark. Looking at that 7. Not as natural for a lefty as a right-hander, but here we go. Got it. 19 and a mark. Back to Dan. Gets 6 to go. Yes, a 7. That 2-pin falls.
I'm just going to play the wood in front of the 7, 4, and 7. Problem pin probably is going to be the 3. And probably the 7 too. It'll be open in the first.
Gets an 8, and now opposite the spare from the champ. Coming up between games 1 and 2 of this championship match, the audience participation strike challenge for $150 today. Couple new wrinkles if you're just watching the program for the first time this season. Ones we think bring some added excitement to the show. Glad you're back with us to watch this year. So Dan open in 1 and 2. Early advantage for John Zappi. No one yet with a triple strike this season. That triple strike pool of $1,000 still out there, still existing. Brought it back from years past. more than one bowler can get a share of that, or if it's just a single bowler to do it, they get all 1,000. Zappi with the fill in 3.
Oh, good break there with the 7-pin going down. 7 fill on the spare gives him 26 after the second frame, but he's looking at the 3, 5, and 10. Split the 3 and the 5, or have the ball on the right side of the 3 and have the ball take the 3. Oh, that 3-pin went right around the 10. Never touched it.
That gets his total to 36 with the 10 box in the third. Five up, 5 down. He's got the 7 and the 4 horsemen to the right. 1, 3, 6, 10.
Everything but the 7.
And he gets it with the third ball. Another 10 box up to 46. Dan Gauthier still searching for that first mark in this game 1 of the championship match. 3 boxes in now. One, 3, 5, 6, 8. Dan had a 135 in that Challengers win over Dave Dupree, 135 to 118, 17-pin victory. Not on that pace at the moment, at least, 24 through 3.
Both bowlers trying to feel their way through this first game. It's John Zappi, if you missed it last week, it was the model of consistency with 142, 142, 284. It's a pretty good score. I don't think it'll hold up for the top 3, but right now he's leading after just a couple weeks of this season. I think third place last year was 290. Not correct.
Dan having a cold start.
Missed the opportunity there with the 2, 5, and 8 piece of wood in there to help him. Missed it twice. 2 7 boxes. Drops down to 15-pin deficit.
John with those back-to-back 142s, a true measure of how he really has been consistently good.
Looking for the strike, everything but the 4-pin, piece of wood in front of it. Should be no problem at all.
This would be his second mark as he works in the 5th. Got it. These guys that get in a groove as champions just don't make many mistakes and bowl so consistently. You have got to be on your game to have a chance if you're the opposition.
I think you can count the number of times they missed that head pin with the first ball, and that's a sign of a true champ. I'm sure you're going to, well, there you go. You're going to get your splits now and then, but if you're on that head pin consistently with the first ball, you'll start to throw things like that. You see the replay of that strike.
Dan needs some marks. It's still game 1 of 2, but doesn't want to fall too far behind. Look at the 5, 7, 9. Open again. So 5 boxes for Dan so far. Not a mark among them.
Just 39. Left a lot of pins standing so far. 11 pins standing in 5 boxes. That's a lot. Look back on that and say, geez, if I pin just a little better with that third ball. Just a little better. Triangle, 2, 4, 5 with a piece of wood to help in between the 2 and the 5. Nothing else for the confidence factor.
Yes.
Got it.
Little boost of confidence. Spare in the 6th. Big early lead, though, for the champ, John Zappi. Back with the end of game 1 next on CNA. Welcome back. 6 boxes into game 1 of the championship match, and the champ, John Zappi, up some 27 pins. Both bowlers working off marks in the 6th. It's Zapp now in the 7th. I hope that's his nickname. I don't know what made me say that. I assume he's called Zapp. Zappi.
He is now.
He's coming off the strike. Looking for his 3rd in a row. Had a spare, then a strike.
He wants to zap another mark here for 50 bucks. Got 2 in a row. Needs 1 more. Just catches the head pin. He's going to earn his $50 in this shot. 2 in the 8, which is the 2 pins that you punch out when you have a half whisker to the left. 2 pieces of wood to the left and to the right. Basically, it's a mess down there. It'd be a terrific shot if you could make this. And he does make it!
Does it
Oh,
yes!
baby! Oh, he earned the $50 there. What a terrific shot. Plays the one way to the left. Just enough. Stays on the lane. And it finally goes.
Terrific job by John Zappi. So that's his 4th mark. 3rd spare, working on 3 in a row. Gets the 50 bucks and now an additional 50 for every consecutive mark the rest of the way in this game. This $50 bonus is starting to pile up.
Oh, he wants that one up.
Seen him
Probably want that one to stay up.
leaving the 7-10. Last 3 shows we've had bowlers reach those bonuses. Can he make it 4 in a row?
Well, he's a wizard with the wood. Not this time.
$10 bucks. It's left just 1 pin. That was back in the 1st when he had a 9. Here's Dan following the spare in the 6th.
Needs a big fill and another one. That's pretty big.
As big as you can get. All 10.
He sets himself up to some bonus money. You see a replay.
Gets 7 to go. He'll get a 2nd ball as part of the fill and a chance to make it 3 marks in a row for a 50. No can do. Picks up that last pin. The deficit is at 26 for Dan Gauthier. Coming up in a couple of boxes, we'll have our audience participation strike challenge. The name we drew today from the crowd, Kathleen Gallo from Vernon, Connecticut. Just 2 more boxes.
Dropping 9. Leaves the 6-pin. Piece of wood behind it, so if he misses it to the left, should still cover. Yes, sir. Spare in the 9th.
4th spare this game to go with a strike. Zappi's going to be in a comfortable position heading into the 2nd game. Six on the fill.
Got a good feeling about this one with the wood behind. Triangle 3, 5, 6, and the 7-pin. Piece of wood in front of the 7, or next to the 7 as well. Oh, he left the 5. Needs this for 140 though. Great opening game. It's a little off this week, only 140. Last week was 142, 142.
Yeah. So much for being consistent.
Yeah.
Gauthier like to try to make up some of the points and marks in 9 and 10.
Yeah, he really needs 2 marks here. He can't be 40 pins down, 35 pins down in the last game.
Four horsemen right, couple in the back row. 7 and 9. The 7 won't go.
Good effort there. Leaves the 7-pin. Much needed mark, but wasn't to be.
Tenth and final box, game 1 for Dan. Had those consecutive marks, but no other ones. That came in 6 and 7. Spare than a strike.
Another strike. Boy, he gets the ball in there. They go. And it's interesting, a right-hander is crossing over into the 1-2 pocket, but it's nice and tight. He gets a lot of pin action. Watch this. 1-2 pocket again, but usually in the 1-3, the ball's cutting through. There's a lot more damage going through the pins, where the 1-2 hits the 1-2 and then goes to the left sidewall, but he's getting a lot of action that way. Looking for the double. That close. Oh.
He'll target the 10.
Good
Got
finish.
140 to 118, so it's down to 22. And some life for Dan Gauthier. 1 game still to go in the championship match. It is the Strike Challenge next on CNA.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. I'm Trina Fernandez, and I'm here with Kathleen Gallo, our lucky audience winner. And Kathleen, where are you from?
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Wow, you're here just for the day?
Yes, I am.
All
With my boyfriend.
Well, it's your lucky day. All right, knock 'em dead.
Thank you.
Go for it.
Okay.
All right. Nice to have someone from the Nutmeg State involved here in the Candlepin scene. Let's see if she can get this first one for 150 if it's a strike.
I thought she was apologizing she was from Connecticut.
Oh, that's something to
That's
be
a
proud
great
of.
start.
Off to the left, but oh, still 7. No, that's already $7. Of course, if she gets the spare, it jumps all the way to 50. Big chance right here.
So far, it's the women been showing the way in this audience strike challenge.
Gonna get the wood.
Another one.
One more ball. Get it up to $10 even. Should be enough gas to get you back to Connecticut.
Maybe.
Depends where you get your gas.
Yeah. It's going to be $8.
I'll get you the Massachusetts line, $8. I'm gonna have to walk the rest of the way, Kathleen.
But she gets to keep the T-shirt.
Absolutely. Nice to get the audience involved. And I'm guessing that's her boyfriend. Made the trip in together today. So the strike challenge will go up to 175 for our next show. Up 25 additional dollars. Game 2, Dan Gauthier with 22 pins to make up as he trails the champ John Zappi. Gauthier to go first.
Dan's going to start quick. It's funny that the first game of this championship. He started out with 39 for the first 5 boxes and was 79 for the last part of that game. So it's a totally different person from the first 5 boxes to the last. And this is where he left off, mark in the first. You see the opening spare by Dan Gauthier, and just concentrate and throw marks, get some bonus money. The rest will take care of itself. Like that.
Whoa, this guy's on fire.
I'm back. You see the strike again in the 1-2 pocket, and they just explode when he gets that ball in the 1-2. Strike on spare, sets himself up for a $50 bonus. More importantly, puts some pressure on our champ. Oh, that one walked over. The 4-pin walked over almost to the 7. Piece of wood in between. I think it should cover the 8.
Got the wood, but neither one of the pins.
So right away, 10 pins of those at least have gone. Lead now is 12. 22 minus 10. 12. Right, Dan?
Correct. Now he's opposite the strike here in the second.
Could be just about even unless our champ can throw a mark in the second.
Not be a mark. And we have got a good match now.
John qualified out of the Lucky Strike lanes in Lynn, Mass for his roll-off. And it's a 9 and a 19, and the lead now drops to 11 minus these first 2 balls. So we could be virtually even after, pretty close after these 2 fill balls on his strike. Of course, he's more important is if he can get that third mark. He's going to get a double strike from the back door. Oh my! There's $50 and a chance for 1,000, or at least get into the running of the 1,000.
50 more and
just missed the head pin. Look at this wood turn right away. I knew that 1 and the 3 were going. Big turn of events.
Triple strike pool.
Here we go. He's got it! Throw the triple. How many times does that happen if you throw a lucky one in there, you seem to bury the next one and throw the triple.
And in the big picture, John Zappi now is going to be very concerned. With an answer, 9-pin drop.
Got an open shot at the 6-pin.
Fires back with a spare.
He just can't panic. He's just going to keep plugging away. But that triple strike, if Dan fills it decently, you know, he's going to have a sizable lead unless John can throw another mark.
So a chance to go back-to-back on the marks for Zappi.
I like that piece of wood is real deep. It's enough to take the 9-pin or not, but if he tries to split it, he might cap the wood. No problem. 2 in a row. But he's throwing spares, and Mr. Gauthier is throwing strikes.
4 marks in a row, the last 3 strikes.
And he's already at $100 in bonus money. We'll forget about the triple strike pool. He's in that. See if he can keep the streak going at $50 a piece. Wow. Wow.
So the run of strikes ends, but it could be 5 marks in a row, another $50. Got it. From the middle of that first game on, Dan Gauthier has been red hot.
How about this? 109 at the half plus another ball.
Gets him 7. Can he make it 6 in a row?
This is the same bowler the first game had 39 after 5. He's got 116 after 5 this game. Well, the streak stops at 5, but it did a lot of damage. .126 through 6.
Of course, John Zappi now shot at $50. Spare in the third, spare in the fourth, now in the fifth.
He is not quitting, folks. He is not quitting. Take a look at this strike, and it's $50 for John. He's looking for a double. Almost.
Still can get his 4th mark in a row. Up it to $100 of bonus money.
In this streak, he already has 50 from the first game.
Yes.
He's got it.
Back and forth they go.
No quit in this guy.
We're going to have a terrific finish, folks. No question about that. 2 talented bowlers, and it's next on CN8. Two hot bowlers duking it out down the stretch. Who will prevail? We'll find out in the next few minutes. Game 2 of the championship match. Right now a 17-pin lead for Dan Gauthier. However, John Zappi, who's trailing but is the champ, will have a fill next time he steps in.
You'd think with spare, triple strike, and another spare in a row that you'd be on cruise control, but no, sir. Our champ is fighting his way back.
Was open for the first time this game in the 6th.
Oh, that close to another mark. Wants that pin to roll back. Will have enough to knock it down. I don't think so.
So open twice in a row. All 10 though. Nothing left up.
Might take a 300 total to win this match.
8th box for Dan.
Didn't get the break in the 1-2 pocket that time, but wants that wood to stick around. Right about there would be good. I don't want to roll too far to the right. Now he's got to rely on hitting the wood, having the wood take out the 6 and the 9, and hopefully somebody coming across the lane for the 7. I don't think you can count on the ball to take the 7. It's too deep. Well,
let's come back to earth a bit.
.145 with 2 to go. Our champ, 87 in a ball in the 6th. Has to keep marking. Down by 17 minus this ball.
Had 4 marks in a row, 3 through 6.
Right in the pocket again. Is it going to go? Oh!
It's rocking, but it's staying up.
This is worth another $50.
Got it. 5 in a row. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Spare, spare, strike. Spare, spare. Another fill. Leaves the 4 and the 7. Wood in front.
With that, it ties it up through 7 frames. This to go 2 up plus the bonus ball. He's got it, and another $50.
6 in a row, folks. John Zappi up by 1 overall now. Dan Gauthier has the game with Zappi up overall. And heading to that 9 off the spare. Gauthier open the 8th.
Chance of 5 in the 8. My, what a match. Got it. 155 in the 9th. Now, we've never had a losing score qualify for the final show. We have a huge chance of that happening today. I know it's early in the season, but these are going to be 2 terrific 2-game totals. Light hit there, drops 7 though. 162. 5, 7, 10. It's nice that this piece of wood is out front. Be nice if he was left-handed like John, though. I think he has to hit it on the right-hand side of that front piece of wood. Second piece should take out the 7. Now just right down the middle.
$172 in this game, $290 the total.
290, and he's going to look back on those first 5 boxes where he left 11 pins standing after that 3rd ball. If he got half of those, he would have been close to 300.
This is the fill ball. John's going to get to 151 in this game. So 124 plus this ball.
Oh my, and another strike, and that should do it for him, but he's going to push this total way up there. He's already at 594 in a box and 2 balls. Look at that strike, another $50. It's going to break the bank. There goes our vacation, Earl.
Can he finish with an 8 in a row, 8 marks in a row?
Well, this one's going to be tough. The wood's way out in front, but I wouldn't put it past him. But what a comeback. Didn't panic. Just came back with a string of his own. Yes, another one.
And he'll get one more ball. 8 in a row.
Picked up 300 in bonus money just this game alone. Another $50 with a strike.
A 172 game. They both had 172 in game 2.
Wow.
312. That is a number we haven't seen. 312, 290. Wow, a 22-pin win. Dan Gauthier might make the final 3-2 with that 290. Back for the wrap-up after this. Welcome back for the wrap-up. John Zappi, his 3rd straight win in style, a record. We're told it's a record 312, 2-game total. You had quite a challenge, though.
Oh, I don't know what to say. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. I thought when he threw the triple there, I was like, oh, I was in big trouble. And then I just kept marking, and things were falling for me. I was hitting the head pin. Oh, unbelievable.
Well, I've got a check here. This is unofficial, John. $1,450, $300 for winning 2 matches, $850 in bonus money today alone, and I think you picked up 100 the week before, so we'll do the calculation, but right now I'll give you the check for $1,450. Congratulations. Great bowling.
Well done.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you next week, too.
Thank you.
They'll look to make it 4 in a row. That'll do it for the CN8 Candlepin Challenge. We thank you for watching.